We're discussing over here about we have machlekes. According to we have a three-way machlekes. If you have to taivel, if everybody has to taivel in the mikvah before you come into the Beis Hamikdash, we have machlekes ben Zaymer and Rabbi Yehuda ben Zaymer hold you have to. Rabbi Yehuda hold you do not. The only reason why you do it is only the Rabbanon. Then we have machlekes by a Mitzayra, and if a Mitzayra has to taivel or not, Rabbi Yehuda holds that you do not. Anyway, the fact is that according to Rabbi Yehuda, there's not much of the tefillah over here is not that strong, because most it's only the Rabbanon. It's only a srach tefillah that you should remember that all your tumah history, a person tevels and he remembers that I was tumah, I'm not tumah, so therefore that's what you have to tell. So Amalei Abai, if that's the case, how far does this idea go? How strong is this tefillah? Amalei Abaya, Rav Yosef, bia b'mixas shma bia. What about bia b'mixas? Does bia b'mixas? What happens if you taivel only partially? Let's say you only need to taivel partial. Does that work or not? Amalei b'hainis yichichu. Behind us, a Mitzayra will prove to you that you have to, even though the reason why we said, not according to Rabbi Yehuda, let's say, we said that a Mitzayra has to taivel is because he comes into the Beis Hamikdash. Where does he come into the Beis Hamikdash? He sticks his thumbs in. Yeah? Where does he come into the Beis Hamikdash? What's wrong? Something wrong? No. Anyway, the reason why a Mitzayra has to taivel is because he sticks his thumbs in, right? Shar Nikner sticks his thumbs in, so he has to taivel. Yet we don't say that he just has to taivel his thumbs. We say he has to taivel his whole body. So that proves to you that even if a person has to taivel only mixas, only partial, he still has to taivel his whole body. Bia mixas shma bia loy amlei b'hainis echichu b'hainis by Mitzayra will prove to you shehein bia b'mixas v'tanya. V'tanya Mitzayra toivel v'aymed b'shar.
Sure, it's the toivel that's partial, or the entry into the Beis Hamikdash?
Yeah, I made a mistake. Yes. Yeah. If a person comes in partial, yes, I'm sorry. If we could restart this. So, if a bia b'mikzas shma bia loy, so let's start again. Bia b'mikzas shma bia loy. What happens if a person comes in partially? Does he have to toivel or not? Amalei b'hainis yichichu, the b'hainis, the thumbs of a Mitzayra, which only the thumbs go in. That'll prove to you that you need a full tefillah. Shein bia mix. There's a tiny Mitzayra toivel v'aymed. B'shar nikner, Mitzayra has to stand. He stands in shar nikner. Yet he still has to have a full tefillah. Ibaylu ma sheyasa saken arucha. So now, if we hold that we do not need a tefillah if you go into the Beis Hamikdash, or if you do need a tefillah, you go into the Beis Hamikdash. What happens if you stand outside? If you stand outside, we know that sheichet can stand outside with a very long knife and he could check. So what happens if he stands outside and he's not actually in the Beis Hamikdash? Does he need a tefillah or not? We'll see what the issue is in a second. In that case, where he's doing a avodah from outside, does he need a tefillah or not? Tibayla ben Zayma, Tibayla Rabbanan will ask according to Ben Zayma that you need a tefillah to go into the Beis Hamikdash, and will ask even according to the Rabbanan that you do not need a tefillah to go onto the Beis Hamikdash. That you do not need a tefillah to go into the Beis Hamikdash. The Pligal Rabbanan, the Pligal Rabbi Yehuda, and will ask even according to the Rabbanan that hold that only by Mitzayra you need a tefillah. According to Ben Zayma, that you always need a tefillah to go into the Beis Hamikdash. And over here, he did not go into the Beis Hamikdash. Maybe I still need a tefillah. Why? Because the only time I need a tefillah is only actually to go inside the Beis Hamikdash. But outside the Beis Hamikdash, if I'm staying outside the Beis Hamikdash, even though I'm doing something inside the Beis Hamikdash, it doesn't matter. The fact is that he's outside, so therefore I don't need a tefillah. Or we're scared, like with the Chacham are always scared that the person is gonna get dragged along to what he's doing. So he's standing outside. You're right. Yes, he's standing outside the Beis Hamikdash. But the fact is that he's holding a long knife and doing something inside the Beis Hamikdash. So he's scared that he'll eventually get dragged along and he'll end up inside the Beis Hamikdash. So therefore, even if he's outside, he has to, or he thinks he's outside, he has to taivel. Tibayla Rabbanan will ask according to Rabbanan. The Pligal Rabbi Yehuda. Atkan like Rabbanan Hasam Dloika Avda Avodah. You're right. When I don't need a tefillah, that's only when I'm not doing an avodah. Aval Hachadik Avda Avodah loy. But over here, he's doing an avodah. So if he's doing an avodah, even though he's outside the Beis Hamikdash, but he's doing an avodah, I still say that I need a tefillah. Aidom Alishna Teiku. Maybe not Teiku. Okay. So we learned in the Beis Hamikdash we learned in the Mishnah that in the Beis Hamikdash we did 5 tefillas, and we learned in the Mishnah 5 tefillas and asar kedushin. And 10 times he was mekadosh yadav v'raglav. So Tanarban, Chamish tefillas asar kedushin, 5 tefillas and 10 kedushin tayvel kain gadol umekadosh by biyom. And kedushin is kiddush yadav v'raglav, washing his hands and feet. Kiddush yadayim reglaim. So umekadosh by biyom kulam b'kodesh. All this is done b'kodesh, b'beis parva, in the beis parva. The beis parva is a special place where the kohen went to the mikvah on Yom Kippur. Chutz mirshayni, besides the first one, like we learned, is equal to a regular tefillah of all year round. So therefore, shahisa b'chayil al gabe sharamayim. Therefore, he did that in where the Mitzayrin went to mikvah. He did that on the chayil, which was al gabe sharamayim, which was on top of the arch, the shar, the lishkas mayim. Okay. Ubetzad l'shkasei, so it was right next to his house. You remember we learned a few blocks back where his room was that he stayed in the Beis Hamikdash. He stayed before 7 days, so it was right next to there.
The chol means outside the Beis Hamikdash.
It was halfway, actually. I think it was halfway outside. Okay, so Amar Abaya Shma Mina. Fine. So, but the fact is like this: that if there was a mikvah on top of the shar, so you have to realize like this: we had a shar, which is an arch and entranceway, and on top of that, on the roof, there was a mikvah. So, the Aryai was the highest point around the area. The Aryai is the highest point, and it had a water source. The water source was ein itum. So water flows downwards. So Amar Abai Shmamina ein itum gavay mekarka zara esem rishalish amos. This proves that the ein itum was 23 amos higher than the azara. Why? How do we know that it was 23 amos higher? How do you get to that? Every single shower, every single doorway in the Beis Hamikdash was 20 amos high. Besides the ulam. It was 10 amos wide. It was 20 amos high and 10 amos wide. Chutz mishal ulam, besides the ulam. The ulam was 40 amos high and 20 amos wide. V'tanya, v'rachatz b'sar v'mayim, b'mei mikvah kol b'sarai. It says in the pasuk v'rachatz b'sar b'mayim, b'mei mikvah kol b'sari. It says kol b'sari. So we darshan from this. Why does it say kol b'sari? Your whole body has to be in the mikvah. Why say kol b'sari? So we darshan that mayim shekol gufa eilo v'hen. We need an amount of water that covers a person's whole body. And that's what kol b'sari means. And how much is that? The kamehain ama alama b'reim gimel. It's a ama by a ama, and the height of 3 amas. So again, so we have a mikvah that's on top of the sharmayim. Sharmayim is 20 amas high. Wow. Plus you have 3 amas of the mikvah, of the height of 3 amas of the mikvah, because a mikvah is amma by amma and 3 amas high. So that comes out that what? 3 amas deep. It depends. It's on the second floor, so I'm looking from downwards. So it's 3 amas high. So it's 3 amas deep. And that equals 23. So it has to be the source of water. The enitum has to be 23 amas high. So the Gemara says, "Va'ika amatikra." I don't understand. The fact is that even when you build a mikvah on a roof, but you still need. It has to be on something. So if the shar, you're right, the shar was 20 amas high, but it still need a good amma of cement, amma tikra, amma maziva. So at least I need some heavy space that the water shouldn't seep through, that it should be able to hold the weight of the water. So why are you saying that it was 23 amas? It had to be at least 25 amas, or 24 amas. So the Gemara says, Sha'arm the Beis Hamikdash kivan the sheishin. And the Gemara says no, because the sha'arm, the entranceways of the Beis Hamikdash were made out of marble, and marble is strong and it's not porous. So therefore, kivan the sheishin inu b'mashu avdiluhu. And therefore, it's good enough with a mashu. So I don't need an amma or 2 amas. I don't need that thickness, and a little bit is good enough. So therefore, it's only 23 amas high. So the Gemara says, "Va'ika hech mashu." What do you mean? So fine, you're right. So it's 23, but I still need a little marble. The space of the marble, so it can't be a small slab. It's got to be a piece, a tefach. I don't know how big it is. So v'eka heich mashu. What about this mashu? Kivin lo have am so lechashiv, because it's not an amma, so we don't count it. So it's 23 amas. You're right. 23 amas and a little. 23 amas.
The top of the gate was 20 amas, so they can just put the water right on top, and so that's including.
Yeah, but I need a roof. What's the top of the gate?
The top of the gate is a roof.
Top of the shar, you mean?
The top of the shar. That's the roof. Why do you have to add another covering on top?
That's
What?
No, it's the top. The top of
The opening, that was open.
Right, so where you measure from the ground to the top.
But that was hollow. That area, this is 20 amas. This is 20 amas.
You're saying to measure the inside space.
Till here, yeah.
I'm telling you measure the outside space.
Right, so we don't do that. But it's funny because this is a shiloh. It's a good raya, and Erevin one. Okay, enough now.
Somebody
Yeah? This is Takat Shad, this is a Machlekes Rishonim. If that's what it is, if it's 20, yeah?
Somebody tapped out to bring the water up.
No, the water was there. There was a source of water there.
The water was up here, so
there was a spring there.
It's Rashi on the
Because the water
What, the spring? Yeah, of course. I thought I explained it. Yeah, there's a source of water there. A spring of water that's called the Ein Itum. Ein Itum means a spring, and the Ein Itum, that was 23 amas high. Yeah, you understand? Yeah, you got it?
I got it.
Okay, very good.
But that was not on the roof. That was.
No, that's far away, but that's how
It's far away, but it's got to slide down. It's got to go downwards.
They must have some
Right.
pipe then.
The aqueduct or something. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So Dr. Mara, Parsu Sad and Shalbutz. So now when the Kohen went to the mikveh, they put butts, they put linen around him. Ma'asha Shalbutz. Why didn't they put I don't know anything else? Ma'asha Shalbutz. Because today's the day of Yom Kippur was the avodah of butts because the Kohen Gadol wore white to go into the Kodesh HaKadosh and wore other things also, but it was avodah. A lot of the avodah or the focus was big day butts was the white clothing for begadim. Big day butts. So this also shows that the avodah of the day is big day butts. Okay. Pashat Yorad v'Tavel. So now this is talking about the morning. Right away in the beginning, the Kohen Gadol went Pashat. He got undressed. The Yorad v'Tavel, he went to the mikveh. Allah, he got out of the mikveh. He went out of the mikveh and stopping and he dried up. He big dezav. They brought him his big dezav. V'lovash, and he got dressed. The kiddush yadav raglav. Then he did kiddush yadayim raglayim. He washed his hands and feet. Tevilah is the tamid. They brought him the tamid. Kartu u'meirak. In Kartu he started the shchita. U'meirak achar shchita. Al Yadai, and somebody else finished the shkita that he started. Kibbul Adam, then the Kohen Gadol, because the avodah had to be done all by the Kohen Gadol, so the Kabbalah was done by the Kohen Gadol himself. So he started the shkita. Somebody else right away took over. This way he was able to do the Kabbalah himself. V'zarka, he did the zrika. Nichnas lahaktik teresh shachar. He went into the kodesh, not the kodesh hakadosh. He went to the mizbeach shalzav, and he brought the teres that was brought every single day. And he prepared the candles, the menorah ulahakar v'sareish v'seivarim, and he was makriv the reish. We learned also he was makriv the regal yimini also together with it. Makriv v'sareish v'seivarim, v'etz chavitin and the chavitim that he brought every day, v'esayayin and yayin. Teres shachar. Now the teres in the morning, haisa kreva bein dam levarim, was makriv on the mizbech between the dam and the ivarim. Okay, between after the zrika and before the ivarim. Shal bein arbaim, the teres of the bein arbaim was brought bein ivarim linusachim, between ivarim and the nusachim. Now, im ha'yikayin gadol zakane istanis. If the Kohen Gadol was an old man, or he was an istanis and he couldn't handle the cold water of the mikvah, mecham lechamen, so they would have the water heated up already before Yom Kippur, umatil and techatzainen, and they would pour it into the cold mikvah, kadesh tafik tzinasan, to warm up and take out the chill of the water. Okay. What?
5 candles he take from a small altar dedication, bring to Mizbech Gedol, right? In the same way.
The same way as what?
The same way it's going to the altar Gedol, right? Altar, big altar.
Yeah.
We take from Mizbech Katan.
Yeah.
Cleans it, right?
Yes. Yeah, but this is later. When? This is not. Okay.
After you clean 5, you take in the same way.
Yeah.
Candles.
Bring to.
Okay, so the Mishnah just doesn't count that. We didn't write Shumas Hadashin over here either. Yeah.
And so it did.
Until the side next to the kevish. Okay. Amru Zakti Gemara. Amru Rabbanan Kameder of Papa. Okay, so now we have like this. We have machlekes. Let me just tell you machlekes. There's machlekes like this that you need kiddush yadayim v'raglayim. When there's machlekes, if you need kiddush yadayim v'raglayim, you have to wash your hands and feet. By when the kohen gets, there's 2 parts of getting dressed. right? By the Kohen Gadol in the Beis Hamikdash. First, you have to get undressed, and then you have to get dressed in the different clothing, right? You got from the Shmoyne Begadim into the Arba Begadim. So there's two processes. So the getting undressed part, you need Kiddush Yadayim V'Raglayim also. So there's machlekes. Do you first get undressed and then wash your hands and feet, or do you first wash your hands and feet and then get undressed?
It's the kier.
Okay. The second,
right by the kier, the mikveh.
No,
He gets undressed and he's going
So
to
what? So he goes
naked to the kier to do.
how does he do it?
Yeah.
So maybe he does
washes
it. He
his
washes.
hands. Oh,
So no, if he washes, so then he does it by the kier, I guess. And then they walk around him. I don't know. Okay, so Mruah Rabbana Kamed Rav Papa. Ha Delek Rameir. This is not according to Rameir. The Rameir holds that you first get undressed and then you wash your hands and feet. So over here we said that Pashat Yarav Tavel, he gets undressed, Pashat, and then he goes in straight in his Tavel. According to Rameir, it has to be Pashat, then you're Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim, and then you can go to the mikveh. So Mruah Rabbana Kamed Rav Papa. Ha Delek Rameir. This our mission is not going according to Rameir. The Rameir, keeping the Amar, Trey Kedusha Alavisha. According to Rameir, there's two Kedushim on getting dressed. So you're right, this is the morning. But when a person, the Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim is Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim for getting dressed. Again, we have machlekes. According to the Rabbanan, you first Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim, then you get undressed, then you go to the mikveh, then you get dressed, and then you Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim again. According to Rameir, you get undressed, and to get dressed, you're Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim, then you go to the mikveh, then you get dressed, and then you Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim again. Got it?
Seems kind of pointless.
Yeah, so let's see. Okay, let's see.
No,
Yeah, I'm just telling you the fact. I'm not telling you reasons. Let's
I
see.
understand.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And then go
So let's see.
Yeah, why wouldn't you go to mikveh?
It's Xeris Akasa. This has nothing to do with logical. Okay, so let's see.
Extra clean.
So, no, the last Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim is very logical. It makes sense. He got dressed. Okay, let's see. Okay, Akapanim, the Gemara, it has nothing to do with that. It's Xeris Akasa. So the Gemara says like this. It's not going according to Rameir. The Rameir, keeping the Amatrei Kiddush Alavisha. According to Rameir, I have to do two Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim, so getting dressed. One before, and one after I get dressed. So Hachinami Levet Trei Kedusha over here, when he takes off, let's say, his weekday clothing, before he goes to the mikvah, according to Rameir, if I before I get dressed, I need a Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim also. So over here also, I should need a Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim. Hachinami Levet Trei Kedusha Alavisha. Over here too, I should have two Kiddush Yadayim Reglaims. One before I get dressed, one after I get dressed. Rav Papa, for the first one. Yeah, you have to understand. Over here, we're talking about the first one. He's getting undressed from his weekday clothing. He's not in between two things. He's starting the process. So, according to our mayor, even starting the process needs Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim. According to the Chachamim, we'll see in a second. So let's see. So Amalu Rav Papa, no, that's not the way it works. Even according to our mayor, that says that I wash Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim when he's undressed. Amalu Rav Papa, Bein Rabbanan, Bein Rameir, the outlook of the Rabbanan and the outlook of Rameir, Chad Apshita, the Big Dekaidish, Chad Alavisha. You're right. There's a machlekes. Do I first get undressed and then Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim, or do I first Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim and then get undressed? But the fact is that there's one Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim for the getting undressed. It might be before, it might be after. But then there's another Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim for getting dressed, which is after. Now, our Mishnah, we're talking about the beginning of the process. So the beginning of the process, there is no need to be Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim right away. Why? Because Mekadesh Yadayim Reglaim is only for getting undressed. Over here, he's not getting undressed out of anything because he's starting the process of starting the Avodah, which is the Big Dezov. The next time he takes off the Big Dezov, that needs a Kiddush Yadayim Reglaim. So we say Chad Afshita, the Big Dekadish Chad Albisha, Bahaka Bahaka Mifli. So what is the machlekes? The machlekes is how to learn the pasuk. What's the machlekes before getting undressed, after getting undressed? The machlekes is in the pasuk. It says in the pasuk, Pashat v'rachatz v'lavash. If you look at the pasuk has one part of pashat, then it says v'rachatz, then it says v'lavash. So we see that in between getting undressed and getting dressed, you have to wash. So Rameir Sava Makish Pshita Levisha. Rameir says I compare getting undressed to getting dressed. Ma Levisha Levish V'achach Mekadesh. The same way by getting dressed. First I get dressed and then I'm Mekadesh Daim Raglayim. Pshita. So too by getting undressed. First I'm Paishet V'achach Mekadesh. Okay, so it works the same way. The same way getting dressed, you do it after getting dressed. So too by getting undressed, you do it after getting undressed. And the Chacham argue, Rabbanan Savri, no. Makish Pshita Levisha. We compare Pshita to Levisha. How? The same way that when you're getting dressed, I wash my hands when I'm dressed, when I have clothing on. So too, by getting undressed, you also wash your hands when the clothing are on. Rabbi said to Rabbi, how can you say this? That you can tell me, how can you say that that according to our mayor, this first part I won't need Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim, but Tani we're going to the BAYT, Parshu Satan Shabbats, Beinil Beinil, Pashat V'Yarad V'Tavel, all of in his topic. He goes down and he's Pashat, he's Yarad Tavels, and he gets up, he gets dry, Hivil Big Dizav, he puts on the Big Dizav, V'Lavash, V'Kiddush Yadav Raglav, and he washes hands and feet. Ramei Omer, Pashat v'kiddush yadav v'raglav v'yaret. According to our mayor, he gets undressed. He's mekadosh yadav v'raglav v'yar v'tavel all v'nasabi v'yila b'gdazav v'lavash v'kiddush yadav v'raglav even the first time. Amalu Ital. If we learned it, I guess that's a pshat. Atkan.